Fall into Winter is a very sweet film. I really thoroughly enjoyed this, and that's only partly because I love Laurie Loughlin. In fact, the only thing I don't like about this is the title. Maybe I'm missing something, I'm not sure, but the title just seems really irrelevant. But if I am missing something, please feel free to explain it to me, and I will happily retract that statement. This film was released this year, in 2023. It's directed by T.W. Peacocke, written by Cara J. Russell, and of course, stars Laurie Loughlin as Kerrie. We also have James Tupper as Brooks. And Brooks buys half of the candy store that Kerrie owns. It's a family run business. It's been in her family for generations. And Brooks and Kerrie go way back because Brooks used to be the best friend of Kerrie's older brother. And he was a bit annoying in high school, and Kerrie didn't particularly like him. And then he did something that hurt her feelings. So she's not thrilled about him buying her brother's half of the business. But she gets on with it. And of course, as the film develops, the relationship between Brooks and Kerrie begins to strengthen. But, as with any classic Christmas rom-com, things are not necessarily plain sailing. And I will say this had me on the edge of my seat. It's very rare that a Christmas rom-com has such a roller coaster of a relationship between our protagonists, and just when I was settling into things going really well for them, something else was thrown in, and honestly, it was intense. And there was a moment where I kind of felt a little bit shocked at what was happening because I was devastated by what was happening. And I won't say any more than that, but the point there is that it's a very well written relationship. I think particularly Kerrie, the way she responded initially to Brooks, trying to be professional but not wanting to get too close, and then the pair of them opening up to each other, it felt very natural. It felt very organic. And although because we mostly see Brooks through Kerrie's eyes, we're kind of inclined to not love him to begin with. And admittedly, he's not very lovable to begin with. But I think it's very easy to follow the character through Kerrie's eyes, and we get to see bits of him outside of Kerrie's perspective. And generally, I warmed to him pretty quickly. And I think both of the characters are really likeable. And even though Kerrie sounds bitter the way I'm describing her, that's not exactly what's going on there. So the romantic part, really thoroughly enjoyed it. Very intense. The candy store aspect, perfect. I think chocolate, candies, anything sugary sweet is a perfect setting for a film that takes place around the holidays. This is, of course, in the run up to Christmas, where people are buying a lot of gifts and sugar, basically. And I think the setting is brilliant. It will make you crave chocolate. That's absolutely something to bear in mind when you start watching this. It is very, very sweet. And I really thoroughly enjoyed it. As I said, the only thing I don't like is the title, but maybe I'm missing something. The title just doesn't seem to connect very strongly with the film. But if that's the worst thing about the film, then I think that's saying something pretty great. Really likeable characters, really good acting, of course. The chocolate shop or the candy store is the perfect setting, and the narrative develops really well. I was hooked from the beginning. Really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. Obviously, if you're a fan of Laurie Loughlin, then it's one you're going to want to check out. But if you're just looking for a very Christmassy or festive themed film, and indeed one that very heavily centres around a lot of chocolate, then Fall into Winter is definitely worth checking out.